Germany is an amazing country with a very active startup scene. Now, in order for these companies to keep up with the fast-paced growth, a lot of them are starting to look outside of the borders of Germany to other countries to hire the talent that they need to keep their companies going. Now, this includes software engineers, product managers, graphic designers, and of course UX designers. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about what the process looks like to get a job in Germany from anywhere in the world. So I'll be telling you about what you need, where to find the job, what the process looks like, some general tips, and also just a little bit of information about what relocation in general looks like. So of course, if this sounds like something that you are interested in, do not forget to support me by liking, sharing, commenting, and of course subscribing to my channel. So let's get into today's video, shall we? So let's start off by talking about what you need to successfully apply for a UX design job in Germany. So the first thing that you need is a resume or CV. Now, in this resume or CV, you want to ensure that you are outlining properly your past experiences, your strengths, and of course your core competencies. Now, a lot goes into creating a really good resume, and I have created a video where I spoke about do's and don'ts and some general tips that could be helpful to you, so be sure to check it out. So you want to ensure that your resume also talks about your skills and what you also feel that you are proficient at. Your resume would be probably one of the first things that they look at, so you want to ensure that it has a clean design, it's easy to understand, and it really sells your strong points. The second thing you are going to need to apply for a job is a strong portfolio. So I will be honest with you, it is competitive because you're also going to be competing with people within Germany for some of these jobs. So you need to ensure that your application stands out. You can stand out with a good resume and of course with a really good portfolio. Again, I have a video about this so you can check it out. It's an introduction to portfolios and case studies that cover some of the basic things that you should be aware of. So with your portfolio, you want to know that it has a minimum of 2 or 3 projects that you strongly believe highlight some of the best projects that you have done in your career. So they should be documented properly, of course follow a good case study format, and have good visuals as well to go with it. Third thing that you would need is a cover letter. Now, not all job applications make this a compulsory requirement, but I noticed that sometimes it can be the difference between getting a call back or not. So you want to ensure that you have a really good cover letter where you talk about who you are, your experience, what you're currently looking for, and of course why you think you're going to be a good fit for the company that you are applying to. Now, where can you find some of these jobs? So I personally got my first job through a website called Moberries. Now, Moberries is a pretty cool website, and how it works is that you upload some information about yourself. So your name, your personal details. You also would upload your portfolio or a link to your portfolio, as well as your resume, CV, and then add some information about your skills and your level of experience. They will now match you with jobs that are currently looking for your particular skill set as well as your experience level. So you start by applying for jobs within the platform itself, and then from there the companies start relating with you directly if they're interested in moving forward with your application. The next platform that you can use to find jobs is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is so awesome, not just for networking but also for finding jobs. So you want to go into like the search bar and search for UX design jobs specifically in Germany. You can also narrow it down to jobs within maybe Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, whatever state you believe would be best for you. Another awesome website you can use is AngelList or angel.co. It's pretty simple to use. You just have to fill in a lot of information about yourself, and then you start seeing companies that also match with your current skill set that you can apply for. So also initial communication would most likely be within the platform. Once you start scheduling calls with them, then you can move outside of the AngelList platform to just regular Google Meet or Zoom. Another really great website that you can use to find jobs within Germany is Glassdoor. Now, you can also use this as an opportunity to find a little bit more about the company, read what other employees are saying about the company, just so you're sure it could be a good fit for you. So you just want to go into the website, do some filtering, and as well find jobs within the specific state that you would like. Now, what does the entire interview process look like? So typically at first you would start off with a call with the recruiter. So the recruiter is probably someone who works in talent management and doesn't have a lot of technical knowledge about UX design, but what they will do is talk to you about who you are, your current level of experience, what you're looking for, just to kind of get a feel or a sense for if you would be a good match for what they're currently hiring for. So of course, in this meeting, you want to ensure that you're highlighting where you are currently in your career, what you think you're capable of, and of course, your core strengths and competencies. Typically, you would have a second call with maybe a design lead or just generally someone in the design team. And in this stage, we'll talk about your experience and give them some more technical information. And of course, you would likely walk them through your portfolio so that they also understand what your technical skills are like. Now, the third step would usually be a design challenge. Now, some companies use the portfolio review done in the second stage as a design challenge in itself, so they may not give you another task, but some other companies may still do a design challenge or still require for you to do a design challenge. So the design challenge is usually in 2 or 3 forms. So first could be a take-home design challenge, second could be a whiteboard challenge, or third could be some kind of an app critique where they send you some kind of mobile or web application and ask you to critique it. So if that is successful, you would then most likely be invited to the next stage, the 4th stage, which would be for you to present your solution. So this is mostly applicable to a take-home design challenge and of course the app critique. For a whiteboard challenge, it's very much on the spot. So whiteboard challenges, you would have an interview or a meeting with the other design leads, and then you would solve a problem on the spot using maybe a platform like Miro to walk them through your process and how you're solving these problems. So for the 4th step where you're presenting your solution, you just want to walk them through how you arrived at what you worked on and, give them an understanding of what your constraints were, what you considered, and just generally letting them know what your design process is like. Lastly, if your design challenge is successful and accepted and people are pleased with what you came up with, the next stage would likely be a call with other design members of the team you would probably be working on, just to get an understanding of cultural fit. So one thing about Germany, and I believe other countries, is cultural fit. And so getting an understanding of how you work and how you relate to others also plays a huge part beyond just your skill level. So they need to feel like they can work with you and that they can relate well with you. So this is also a very, very, very important step. Now, of course, if you have passed the stage, congratulations. The next stage would probably be discussing an offer. Now, in this stage, I would just encourage you to do a lot of research and ensure that whatever is being offered to you matches with your skill level as well as your level of experience. Do not be afraid to negotiate and ask for more if you think that the company could do better. So now some general advice for the whole job application process. First thing I would say is don't be discouraged, because there's a huge chance that you're going to get a lot of rejections. Everybody does, and this could be for different reasons. It could be that the specific company you're applying to wants to hire within Germany alone. It could also be maybe just a mismatch in terms of what they want for skill and experience, and there's so many reasons. Of course, it is helpful that after rejections, you do take some time to reflect on your portfolio and your CV, just to ensure that maybe you're not missing anything. The second tip is bear in mind that your portfolio is extremely important. As I mentioned before, the market is competitive. More and more international people are starting to look to move to Germany. So you have to be aware of that and use that to fuel you. So you put your all into your portfolio. Put as much information as you think is necessary. Ensure that the visual design is sleek. Ensure that it is easy for people to run through, read through, and understand, so they know who you are and what your skill level is, and of course, what you have to offer. Third tip is to apply to multiple places. So of course, there would be some preferred companies that you would like to work with. We all have companies that we really like and we think would be a good match for, but sometimes those companies could have other requirements that you may or may not meet. So it's important to keep an open mind and to try applying with other companies and just see which one works out for you ultimately. Third tip is to reach reach out to recruiters. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. So as I mentioned, LinkedIn is an awesome website to use for your job application process. So don't be afraid to search for recruiters that are recruiting specifically within the German market. Reach out to them and pitch yourself to them. So you can send them a quick bio about yourself, what you're looking for, and as well include your resume and a link to your portfolio. So you also want to ensure that your LinkedIn is up to date as well and matches with your resume or CV. So generally how the relocation aspects would work would be first, the company will reach out to you for some documents. So this would be after you've signed a contract and so on. So they would probably ask you for a couple of your documents, or they would put you in contact with a relocation agency. A lot of companies use relocation agencies to kind of speed up the process. Now, if you have a recognized degree from a university, then most likely you would be eligible for something called a blue card. And if you do not have a recognized degree, it's still completely fine. You can also get something that is called a work permit. Now, a work permit and a blue card are not too different. It just differs in terms of how many years you have to wait before you can apply for a permanent residency in Germany. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that some companies will cover relocation costs and some others may not cover. So you want to ensure that you're fully aware of what your company is taking responsibility for and what you have to take responsibility for. So some companies will reimburse you up to a particular amount, maybe 2,000 euros or 2,500, but it may not cover everything that you need. So you want to ensure that you have some savings or some other form of income that can help you cover some costs, like, you know, renting an apartment and doing some other things. But ideally, your company will help you with other things, including just generally settling into Germany. Like I mentioned, this is something that you should also look at negotiating in your entire salary package, maybe some kind of relocation bonus, or just being very sure of how much you are supposed to contribute and how much they will be bringing in to help you with this process. So guys, I wish you all the very best as you start your new journey. I hope this video was useful and helpful to you. If it was, please do not forget to support me by liking, sharing, commenting, and of course subscribing to my channel. Thank you all so much. See you all next time.